So we start off with Bella Swan, okay? Her mom has dropped her off at her dad's house because she's dating some basketball or baseball player, some fucking athlete, and they travel a lot. And Bella, you know, she wants a little stable, normal life, so she's gonna stay with her dad in Forks. While Bella and her friends are eating lunch one day, the motherfucking Cullens walk into the cafeteria like a bunch of bad bitches. There's Alice and Jasper and Emmett and Rosalie. Edward walks into the cafeteria after them, and him and Bella make a little bit of eye contact. Then it turns out they have biology together, so Bella walks into the motherfucking classroom, and Edward is sitting at the damn table, and he just starts flipping the fuck out. He's over there just like... And Bella's, you know, she's just sitting there fucking awkward as hell because it's like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, what the fuck? You know, like, if I was up in class and somebody was doing that, I'd be like, what is wrong with this bitch? The bell rings and Edward just jets out of the classroom and he tries to get into another class, but he can't. Then he disappears for like a fucking week and a half. Edward comes back and he's like a changed man, and they're up there with their microscopes and they're having a conversation talking about anaphase and metaphase and all that boring ass biological shit. After class they're walking down the hallway and Bella notices that his eyes are like turning fucking gold, orange, red, and she's up there like, what the fuck is wrong with your eyes? And he's like, bitch, it's the fluorescence. The next day Bella's just chilling out by her motherfucking car, and then this crazy ass lunatic comes up with his truck and almost runs her over, but Edward comes out of motherfucking nowhere and stops the shit with his hand. There's a dent in the car and everything, like Edward did some motherfucking damage. Bella goes to the doctor just to get checked out, and it turns out that the doctor is Edward's dad. Bella's trying to figure everything out, what's going on, because you know, if you was sitting up there and you saw somebody fucking stop a car in front of you with their bare hands and leave a motherfucking dent, I know I'd be like, what the fuck just happened? She's going through all these mysteries and all this other stuff, and then she's like sleeping and she wakes up and Edward's standing in her room. It turns out it was just a dream, but then she comes, like her voice over in the movie is like, this was the first night I dreamed of Edward Cullen. This dude Mike asked Bella to prom and she's like, no, I can't go to prom, you know, I have to go to Jacksonville. Edward is standing like 2,000 feet away, but he hears the entire conversation and he goes up to Bella when they're at this field trip and he's like, why do you have to go to Jacksonville? Of course Bella's like, how the fuck did you hear that? You were nowhere near us. Then he's like, stay away from me. Don't talk to me. I'm gonna hurt you. Then the next day, this bitch comes up to her in the cafeteria and tries to start a conversation. At this point, if I was Bella, I would've had to smack Edward across the face and be like, nigga, you fucking with my emotions. Bella invites him to the beach, but he says he can't go because it's crowded. Then when Bella's at the beach with her friends, Jacob asks, first of all, let me just comment on this, because Jacob in this movie is a fucking hot fucking mess. He has weave, looking like a motherfucking cockatoo. When everybody brings up the fact that Edward didn't come, one of Jacob's friends is like, the Cullens don't come here. Of course Bella's like, what the hell is this bitch talking about? So Jacob, while they're walking down the shore, tells her the story of like how his clan are like descendants from wolves and the Cullens are descendants from the enemies. And now we see this scene where this redheaded bitch and then some black man with dreadlocks and the cute ass guy from Burlesque, they like taunt and do something to this other guy. The next day at school is fucking hot as fuck and sunny and shit, and Bella is like, where the fuck is Edward? And her friends are like, the Cullens don't come out when it's nice outside. They go camping and on vacations and have fun with their family. Then later that night, Bella is with her friends looking for prom dresses, and she decides to go to this bookstore to get some book because she's getting all fucking paranoid about Edward. And while she's leaving the fucking bookstore, all these dudes pop up out of nowhere and start harassing her ass. I really think they was about to rape her ass, but then Edward came out of nowhere with his motherfucking Volvo and handled business. They go out to dinner, and then Edward's like, you know, I don't have the strength to stay away from you anymore. And Bella was like, then don't. The next day at school, there's this big ass slow motion scene where Bella is walking past Edward, and then for some reason she goes into the motherfucking woods and he follows her and she's like, I know what you are. And he's like, say it out loud. And she's like, a vampire. Then he wants her to see him in sunlight, so he just throws her on his motherfucking back and runs up this mountain like a motherfucking cheetah on crack. And then he just starts glistening and turning into Kesha and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? Throw some glitter, make it rain on